Welcome to Stephen AI TV. America at war, Iran under attack. For 13 days, what started as a regional conflict in the Middle East has now spiraled into a full-blown global crisis, and it's being fought with more than just missiles.
Look at this image. This isn't just an accident. This is a message, sent with fire and steel. Iran is making a statement by effectively shutting down the Strait of Hormuz. We're talking about the artery that carries a fifth of all the world's oil. The entire strategy here? Inflict the most painful, drawn-out economic shock to the West that they possibly can. You see, back on February 28th, when the US and Israel launched that initial strike, the thinking was they'd cut the head off the snake. But, well, like something out of mythology, the Iranian regime has grown new heads. A new, wounded leader has stepped out of the shadows, and he is waging a war on two very different, very dangerous fronts. And here they are, the first words from that new, unseen leader, Mujtaba Khamenei, the son of the slain supreme leader. In a statement read on state TV, he made a chillingly defiant promise. There will be revenge. And he vowed to keep that energy jugular, the Strait of Hormuz, clamped shut.
And this really shows you the reality of this two-front war. On one side, you've got absolute kinetic fury out in the Gulf. Tankers are burning near Iraq, which proves Iran's reach goes way beyond just the strait. But then, on the other side, the war's coming home to Tehran. Security forces are flooding the streets, trying to crush any dissent while the bombs are falling.
And the war has now officially arrived in the West, not with a bang, but with a click. A hacking group with ties to Iran called Hendallah just launched this absolutely devastating cyber attack on a US medical firm, Stryker, that's based in Cork, Ireland. They didn't just steal some data, no. They wiped phones, they wiped laptops, and they ground the production of critical surgical implants to a complete halt. The digital world, it's a battlefield now.
Which, brings us to the unseen front. Because beyond the hackers, there is a much more traditional and, frankly, maybe more terrifying threat network that's being activated as we speak.
Just this week, U.S. intelligence picked up a brand new encrypted transmission. They think it came from Iran. Now, they couldn't decipher exactly what it said, but the nature of the broadcast itself, it was enough to trigger a really chilling federal alert. The real fear here, is that Tehran is waking up its sleeper assets. We're talking about spies, maybe terrorists, who've been living quiet, totally normal lives in countries around the world, just waiting for the call to act.
So what we're watching unfold is a textbook case of hybrid warfare. It's this messy, multi-layered conflict fought with missiles, yes, but also with keyboard warriors and hidden operatives. And this, right here, is where our AI Weekly Digest really comes into focus. Technology, specifically AI, is now absolutely critical. It's become both a weapon and a shield. The attackers can use it to coordinate these complex cyber strikes and spread disinformation, while on the flip side, our intelligence agencies are using AI to hunt for those digital breadcrumbs and try to crack encrypted messages, like that one we just talked about.
Now, what's so fascinating about all this is how the conflict is completely reshuffling the global chessboard. It's creating some, let's just say, very strange bedfellows.
And this just perfectly illustrates the paradox, doesn't it? On one hand, you have Russia actively helping Iran, giving satellite imagery to Houthi militants so they can better target ships in the Red Sea. But then, on the other hand, it's Ukraine, a country that has spent years fighting off Iranian-designed drones that Russia uses, that is now giving its advanced, battle-hardened counter-drone expertise to the United States. It's wild.
So why does any of this geopolitical maneuvering matter to you?
Well, because the bill for this war is arriving at your front door.
The chaos in the Gulf sent oil prices surging right past $100 a barrel this week.
And if you asked Iran's military command, they'll tell you that's just the start. They are warning the world to get ready for $200 oil. For them, economic pain is their sharpest and most effective weapon. And here's how that global price hits your wallet. It's not just about the gas for your car, higher transport costs, higher energy costs for manufacturing. That means the price of your groceries, your meat, your cheese, your bread, it's all climbing. And get this, about 30% of the world's synthetic fertilizer has to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. With that being choked off, food prices are getting squeezed even harder.
So, as that economic pressure starts to build, the language from world leaders is getting sharper and a lot more direct.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu issued this thinly veiled but completely unmistakable threat aimed directly at Iran's new leadership. He's vowing to just keep hitting Iran and its proxies.
Meanwhile, President Trump seems to be playing down the whole crisis. He says about the rising oil prices, when oil prices go up, we make a lot of money. And then, in this really bizarre aside, he suggested the Iranian national soccer team should probably just skip the 2026 World Cup, which the U.S. is co-hosting, for their own life and safety.
The point of all this is that from the Strait of Hormuz to a factory floor in Ireland, all the way down to the price of your groceries, this conflict has no borders. Which leaves all of us with a final, pretty sobering question. When the battlefield is literally everywhere, where exactly is the front line? And that's the latest from Stephen AI FM, America at War, Iran under attack.
That's all, folks.